later on, I plan to talk to Saul a little bit about weather, about a weather utensil, because me and him yesterday, I was telling him about how I was reading one of his books that he was gifted. He was gifted this book, right? He didn't even read this book that he was gifted. So I was like, hey, you know, that book seems pretty cool. It's about
I
weather
read
history.
a little bit of it.
It's about weather history, and I was like,
I read a little bit of it.
that's pretty cool. I learned what barometers are and do, because, you know, I didn't know what they did before, because I'm not a weather genius like Saul.
The human reading of some of those instruments have fallen out of favor. Yes, they're still very important, but they're more important for model development.
Model development.
That's why they fly crazy jets, military planes into hurricanes. And
Oh no! So Saul,
huh?
where should I put my farm? This is a weather question.
Put it in the Midwest.
Why is the Midwest superior?
Just its location and proximity to the Gulf of Mexico for the moisture feed and the rain in the summer.
Okay, so weather question. Here we go. How does a barometer work, and what does it do? Actually, I already know what
that's a good question. Barometer works using mercury somehow.
What I meant to say was, how do you use barometers to infer
Forecast
the weather?
Yeah. You use barometers to forecast weather by reading the pressure reading that it gives you. I'm not ready for this. A drop in the barometer typically indicates stormier weather, while a rise in the barometer tends to indicate calmer and mostly drier weather. But it isn't one-to-one.
Okay.
Like, just because the... Okay, this is going to be very, very, very convoluted, and you're not going to remember this, but just because the pressure one day is 1030, and that's considered you're in a high pressure and it's fair weather, that next day, or like that next week, it could be 1030 and raining. If the pressure level was 1030. It doesn't mean it's going to be the same every time the pressure level is a certain level. It just depends on if you're coming out of a high pressure situation or going into a high pressure situation.
Isn't going in the bad one? Like, if you go into a if the pressure starts to heighten, isn't that a sign of... or is it the other way around?
No, it's lower. When it lowers.
Oh, yeah,
when the pressure lowers, typically there's a storm system approaching.
Now,
but there are a lot of other factors.
You were telling me something about how, like, hurricanes last night. That was really cool. About how they fly into the center of hurricanes with military planes.
NOAA recon aircraft they fly the aircraft into the eye of hurricanes over the ocean to measure the okay, let me tell you, I can't tell you what I'm talking like, but anyway, they fly into the center of a hurricane to measure the wind, the pressure, temperature, all of that. It's very crucial for weather models to be able to, to know the exact readings in the eye of the hurricane, because it actually will end up having a big effect on which direction it moves ultimately, and how strong it actually does become.
You know, the one of the first recorded hurricanes was Christopher Columbus, I believe. That's one of the first recorded, I think. I don't remember. It was something like that. Could there be a hurricane? Could there be a hurricane anywhere that's close to the ocean? Like, anywhere that's close to the ocean? Or is there, like, factors that
not
are,
anywhere.
Huh.
Not anywhere.
Not anywhere.
Water temperature is a big, big, big factor. Water temperatures under, like, 80 degrees, maybe under, like, 85, honestly, aren't quite as supportive for that. And, like, in the Arctic Ocean, you're never going to have a hurricane. Well, what's technically defined as a hurricane? You could have a hurricane force storm.
So
to me,
Sweden couldn't get a hurricane.
Most people, they could get the remnants of one, but they couldn't get like a Category 5, 200-mile-per-hour wind hurricane in the current climate. Well, it's usually just in tropical areas closer to the equator. South America, or the southern hemisphere, doesn't have as many hurricanes, but it's possible.
Saul's a bit of a weather genius. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to all this stuff.
Actually, the southern hemisphere does have a decent amount, but they spin the opposite direction.
Oh, I got a really good question for you. What do you think the weather would have been like during the Ice Age?
Well, that's tough to say, but our weather would probably be... you'd probably have to look at it as if we would be moved closer to the Arctic in terms of like how our weather behaves. The Arctic would be absolutely like you would not even be able to go there without dying most likely.
The Arctic?
Yeah, in the actual Arctic. And then areas that are now like, you know, somewhat temperate, especially in the summer,
Mhm.
would be just like the Arctic most likely. Even like
Mm.
landlocked areas.
Okay, this may be a preschool question, but what does landlocked
Keep
mean?
dark. Landlocked areas are basically just continents.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what you meant by that.
Oh, I'm near
Wait. Why is it called a landlocked whatever majig?
well, it's not necessarily. You don't have to call it a landlocked area. It's just it's an area that is not near an ocean or a big body of water. The state we live in, which I almost said it.
They know.
Kentucky is landlocked
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I get it.
because it's not. It doesn't border an ocean. I don't know exactly what would happen. I'm just guessing. Like I don't know. Like if the climate. I know the climate would be a lot different. Like where we are. I mean, even down to where we are would probably be buried in snow through the winter. Maybe in the summer it would melt some. I mean, our climate would probably be more similar to Canada's, where we are, or maybe even colder actually. But I don't know. Just a guess. What were you gonna ask? The big question?
The big question, yes, the one that really, really intrigued me yesterday, and that was, if there were to be a solar flare, how badly would that affect the atmospheric pressure? Like a major solar flare, like in the 1800s, whenever people could use their telegraphs without batteries in them or power to them.
Well, do you know? Do you know if it's possible for solar flares to disrupt the ozone layer or not? Do you know if it's
The
possible?
O's, it disrupts the electromagnetic field. I think the electromagnetic field is what
Actually,
keeps.
I mean, the more I think about it, if there was a solar flare,
Mhm.
it may. I mean, a major one.
Mhm.
A major one may have an effect on the climate.
How bad do you think it would be? Like my question is, so like if there was like a 1/4 Earth-sized solar flare, do you think that would cause anything? Oh, that was cool.
Well, I'm sure solar flares are way bigger than the Earth.
Yeah, I
It's just
I'm
about
not
how
exactly sure how
strong
big
they
they
are.
Yeah.
And if it was a strong like they have different categories. It's like G1, G2, G3. Don't
I
ask
didn't
me
even
the
know
difference
that.
between them because I don't really know.
I know a lot about
Because
space, but I don't know about that.
I've looked into it a little bit more recently, especially when we had an aurora that was almost visible where we are at this far south in latitude.
Oh. Yeah, and
Remember the one
auroras
back
are
in
called
last
by
April?
auroras. What are auroras called by again? They're caused by
Solar
solar.
solar storms like geomagnetic storms, solar flares.
Yeah. Okay, now we can start just playing Minecraft again because that was a really good talk. I mean, I never was
What
as
was that?
interested
How did I not just take fall damage there? What?
as Saul was in weather when he was younger.